Because you asked me about the situation focused model,
Yeah.
and it happened this year that I had to prove that situation focused model is still about the basic tenets in solution focused approach. So for me, it's now like, am I still within solution focused family or not?
How, how,
So
how did you have
yes.
to prove it? What was the proof?
Oh, just to show that I refer to basic assumptions, and that still I use basic techniques. So something like that. And I think that for me important thing is that solution focused model, situation focused model is not right. It's just it's just a map. And it's my map. There is nothing to speak about who is wrong or who is bad. I just didn't like some things within solution focused approach, so I decided to make some adaptations to make it much more useful for me. And of course, now when I speak about solution focused approach in Poland, I also speak about situation focused model. And what I don't like about solution focused approach that it speaks about preferred futures, about preferred future. And even using word future, it makes that it's still a matter of the future. When I speak about preferred situations, it's not in the future, it's somewhere. It's not placed in the time, and because it's not placed in the time, I think it's easier on the basis of wording, make it more closer to people. And for me, it's important that the picture of the preferred situation is created mainly by the clients, but it's also created by the professionals. Uh, because in Poland, at least some people have to play such a role that they need to describe desired parts of the client's future. For example, in intervention, the system wants something from the client, and you have to give a very precise description of it, and it's described by other people from the client's reality. So it's constructed from three triangles: from the client's perspective, from others' perspective, and from professional perspective. So I play now with miracle question, which is asked to professionals. It's not only asked to the clients, and asking question to client and miracle question to client, and asking question to his social worker, and comparing how it suits or what is different. But I think it's important not to rely just on the client's perceptions. Client's perceptions are important, but not the only one. And that's something I'm trying to implement, that we are important to clients. So the concept of leaving no footprints is totally mystic for me. I am very close to thinking that we leave and we should leave footprints, useful footprints. And also on that basis, we were talking about the exceptions, and that in solution focused approach, exceptions are just a question to a client when it was like that in your experience. And now in my terminology, exception is much more broader meaning. It refers to others' experiences and also to therapist experiences. It refers also to knowledge experiences and to some others. So I'm trying to use the idea of the internet, where the client is just one server and there are much more servers around. and we can exchange with ideas between servers, and it might be useful for the client server. Of course, we have to protect firewalls and things like that, and not to just to take control over the server, but staying on the basis of the client server and not utilizing outer servers is not useful for me, from my point of view.
So do you think that the solution-focused model got to a point where it was very individualistic in a way? And
Yes, it was very individualistic, but I think it should still be individualistic in a way that we ask people, what do you want in that situation? But also we ask questions, what do others want? And also we say, maybe you want to hear what we want from you.
So the whole social situation should be addressed.
Yes. And of course, it's still client's choice. It's still client's choice. And the responsibility, of course. We shouldn't take the person from his processes. But saying that the client possesses all he needs to resolve the situation or to build a better future is useless. I think that in many cases, clients have to utilize informations, let's call it informations, which are placed on outer servers. So we should look for useful things not only within the client's mind, but also how to combine the client's mind with minds of others. What is very typical for the human species. We are here because we are trying to combine and collect the knowledge and experiences. So why not to do it with the client?
So not to exclude the client from this discussion that we maybe have in our head or between us, but to include the client in that.
Yes, and invite books, invite theories as a potentially useful maps and potentially unuseful, and to help client to decide about the usefulness, but not to exclude outer maps. That's what I think is very close to me and to this situation-focused model, where I often ask people, do you want to hear what I think about this situation? And of course, I'm looking for a kind of legitimization because I ask for it. Do you want to hear? Or do you want to know what I read in a book about it? And a lot of people find it useful. And they cannot find it in their mind because it's not there. So something like that, I think.
Thank you, Thomas. This will be fantastic.